right. Friendly reminder, you have a vocab quiz on Monday on 1 through 10. Tuesday you have 11 through 20. Wednesday 21 through 30. Please make sure you are prepared for that. I don't know why it's doing that. You have a test on Thursday. It's a normal week. Next Friday we have no school. I know. But you have a really important map to do all by yourself, which kind of really sucks. So, oh well. Here we go. Atlantic. Atlantic Ocean. Spain. France. Morocco. Algeria. Tunisia. Libya. Tripoli. Egypt. Cairo. Alexandria. Mediterranean Sea. Suez. Palestine. Jerusalem. Damascus. Beirut. Syria. Iraq. Baghdad. Barca. Persian Gulf. Kuwait. Medina. Black Sea. Georgia. Trebizand. Turkey. Istanbul. Smyrna. Smyrna. Caspian Sea. Tehran. Tehran. Persia. Parentheses. Iran. Corsica. Sardinia. Sicily. Italy. Greece. Athens. Albania. Montenegro. Heights. Heiz. And then Bosnia. Bosnia-Herzegovina. Over here you have Serbia. Over here you have Bulgaria. Over here you have Romania. You need 4 boxes. You have Ottoman Empire. 1800. Territory lost. 1800 to 1877. Territory lost. 1878 to 1913. And then Ottoman Empire. 1914. Why does this stop in 1914? World War I. There you go. Alright, so I have markers, so I'm going to use my marker. If you have a nice heavy pen, you can do it that way. Or use the black color pencil or crayon. For the original borders of the Ottoman Empire, I'm going to do a nice black. Now we have a couple things we're going to add once we get these new borders in. So just keep that in mind. We have a couple things we do have to add. That's your European boundary. Remember, I'm not expecting perfection. I am expecting an attempt. There we go. So, large or small?
Large.
Very large. Alright, so now that we have a new border, we're just going to draw an Algeria line. Okay, so for territory lost in 1800 to 1872, I'm going to use pink. Okay, this is territory they're going to lose during the... Oh, we have another line we got to draw in now that we have this line. Okay, so these are territories they are going to lose during the Napoleonic Wars. Now, what else is happening during the Napoleonic Wars? Look at mine before you get going here, people. I'm not coloring in all these countries. Some of these are going to turn later. So Romania and Serbia, these areas. Greece is also going to fall. What is rising during this time period? What is happening all over the world? People are now starting to believe in what type? Belief system. No. No. Huh? How much communism do you think spreads right now, people? It starts with an N. Nationalism. So all of these countries that identify themselves as Greeks or Serbians or Bulgarians, do you think they want to be controlled by people called the Ottomans? No, so they start rebelling. Okay. Then territory loss 1878 to 1913 is for me going to be blue. You have this nice strip in Bulgaria. You're not going all the way down though. That area is going to fall later. Now Montenegro never falls to the Ottomans. It stays its own independent country the whole time. So Montenegro is not colored. And then Tunisia all the way to Egypt is colored. So as you can see, the Ottoman Empire was pretty expansive and at one point was incredibly influential. However, it has the nickname of the Dying Man. Why do you think it had the nickname of the Dying Man? It is slowly dying. Now, one of the reasons why it dies is so slowly is because it refused to adapt. With this whole new industrial thing, they thought it was going to pass. How'd that work out for them? Not well at all. Okay, so hence why they're going to lose so much territory. Don't forget to color in Georgia and Kuwait. So, because they refuse to allow change and of course, industrialization to come in. Then, of course, we have the Ottoman Empire as it entered World War I. What team did they join? The wrong team. And who's that wrong team? No, Axis is World War II. It is the Germans and the Italians. They join that team. What team loses? Germans, Italians, and the Austrians. So when the end of the war, Ottoman Empire is officially going to collapse in 1918 once the war is over. Once it's over, England and France and the United States are going to divide this territory amongst themselves. We call it the Mandate System. And they are going to take over this territory and draw the current boundaries of these countries today. Are those boundaries in the Middle East today, do they make logical sense with the population that lives there? Nope. Because we have Kurds on some place, and we have all different types of people all mixed. Now, right before World War II, World War I, they're going to find a natural resource in the Ottoman Empire, but it's not that valuable yet. What natural resource is that? Oil. Alright, the rest of it, you have 1 minute to color. Now, during World War I, is the oil that valuable? Not really. However, once it falls into the hands of the British, the English, and the the French, and the Americans in World War II, is it going to play an important role? Oh, yeah. Is what? Medina. Medina? Oh, it's red. Well, remember, it's a holy city, remember, for Islam? Muhammad flees there. Yes? So they're going to hold on to that to the very end. Three, 2, 1. The other side's way harder, people. Flip it. This is what we're doing on this side. Yep. So, we need to spend time on this side. Alright, we are actually going to start with our boxes first, and then we're going to start labeling. It's a lot. It's not a particularly fun map day. Can you tell? So, here we go. My last class one was a nice one. Make sure you are putting, there's 3 columns to this chart that we're making today, so please make sure you're putting your stuff where mine is as close as you can. Russia, Britain, Japan, France, Germany, treaty ports. And next to treaty ports, you're just going to put a star, like make a little star. Chinese railroads. Dash, dash, dash. That's all you're going to do. Okay, there's 3 columns to them. First one is colonial possessions. Spheres of influence. And then railway. Okay. Russia, Britain, Japan, and France get a box for the colonial possessions. Germany does not. Then all of them, including Germany, get a sphere of influence and a railway. That was the easiest part. I hope you enjoyed that. Alright. Do the best you can. I'm looking for sincere effort. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be an attempt. Himalayas. British India. Burma. Bay of Bengal. Siam, French Indochina. 1884. Philippines, U.S., 1898. Oh my goodness, is the United States an imperializing power who uses other countries for raw materials and exporting of goods, manufactured goods? Yes, we are. All right, so when I say treaty port, that means you put a star instead of a dot. So treaty port right here, Longzhou, 1884. Macau, Macao. Does anyone know what Macau today is known for? It is the Las Vegas of China. Hong Kong, 1842, and it's controlled by the British. Treaty port, star, Guangzhou, 1842, British. Okay, we're going to put a treaty port. It's Xiamen, and it's controlled by the British. We're going to draw in the Yangtze River. Do the best you can. It does not need to be perfect. This is your Yangtze River. Right over here is a treaty port. Chongqing, 1890, British. Okay, back over the coast. Treaty port, Shanghai, British, 1842. We're going to just put a couple treaty ports. We're not going to write their names. You're welcome. We have the Yellow Sea right here. We do have a treaty port right here. Its name is Tianjin. Right over here we have Beijing. Right here we have a super important port. It's called Port Arthur. It is Russia, 1898, and then it goes to Japan, 1905. Right here we have a city, Pyongyang, Pyongyang, and this is, of course, is Korea. We have Japan. Here's Kyoto. This is your Sea of Japan. Now right here on this little island, we're going to divide it in half right now because it will help us later. This is your Russian Empire. Okay, we have railroads to write in for Chinese. They're just going to be black lines like we drew on our little thing. Not too hard. Up around Beijing. And then they flutter off. Those are your Chinese railroads. Out here is your Gobi Desert. Alright. This is where things get hard, but you're smart enough you can do it. I believe in you. Now, we do have a couple things we're going to write in once we draw out the boundaries. Now, I have markers, so I'm going to use markers. However, all you need to use is your pen or pencil, or your colored pencils or crayons. I haven't done it. What? Okay. So, for your Russia, I'm going to use brown. for Russia. I have a marker, so I'm going to outline the colonial possessions in dark. If you just have crayons or colored pencils, that's totally fine. You're just going to make it really dark. You're just going to push in really hard and make it really dark, yes? Then when we do spheres of influence, you're going to do it really lightly. Do we see the difference between the two? Hello? So your colonial possessions, you're going to press really hard. Your spheres of influence, you're going to do it really lightly. Alright, so of course the Northern Territory belongs to Russia, so we'll just get that going. Now when you get to this little part down here, you're going to divide it in half just like we did before. Now please watch as I come over here because things start getting different. Okay, now I'm going to draw in my railway, which is just going to be brown lines. So if you have colored pencils or crayons, you're just going to do brown dashes. That's my railway. Right here, we're going to label it Manchuria. And that is a sphere of influence, so I'm going to color that in really lightly. Okay, so lightly colored brown. And then everything else I'm going to color in pretty hard. Don't break my crayons though. Now, do not worry about coloring into the boxes. Now, the difference between a colonial possession and a sphere of influence. A colonial possession means they control all aspects, the government, the economy, social, cultural, the whole thing. When you are just a sphere of influence, you only control the economy. Now, for these countries that really generally don't want to rule territory, spheres of influence are perfect. China is going to be divided up to both colonial and spheres of influence. That's all because of the Opium War, which was spearheaded by what country? Britain. Alright, Britain, here we go. They're going to be dark green for me, for your colonial possession. And my light colonial sphere of influence. Nice and light. Okay. Do the best you can. It doesn't need to be perfect. So this is the territory the British outright own and control. It obviously goes all the way down over here because what's right here? Hello? This map continued, wasn't over that? It's India. They directly control India, which is where they're getting the what? Opium. Huh? This is a hard color, yeah. Okay, and then your sphere of influence. They're going to control all of this territory. And then they're going to control all of this territory. So those are your spheres of influence. Their railway is going to be connecting all of these cities over here. So just draw your little dashes in. That's good enough. Japan, for me, is going to be red. With my light red for my spheres of influence. Okay, so for my heavy red, my dark red, all of these belong to Japan outright. Obviously, the islands of Japan are owned by them. They also are going to outright own Korea. Now, if they're owning all of this territory, ladies and gentlemen, what do they have to be? If they're owning territory like Britain, France, Germany, Russia, what are they? They're what? They're industrialized, ladies and gentlemen. They are your only Asian country that is industrialized. They are going to use this to their advantage and to their power. And that's why China hates them. Alright, there you go. So, this is your sphere of influence, so nice and light. Now, who is Japan constantly bumping heads against? Russia. Russians and Japanese don't really get along. They're going to have a lot of bad blood. The Japanese are going to make them look like idiots. And that's going to haunt them for a very long time. It's going to be pretty awesome, though. Because the Japanese are going to beat them in a fight, and it's going to be great. Alright. Oh, Japan, I forgot. There's one other sphere of influence. It's way down here. Alright, next is France. For me, they are purple. Here's my dark purple. Here is my light purple. Alright, so your dark purple is over here. That one is just going to draw on my railroads because I have my marker in my hand. There are your colony. And here is your sphere of influence. Alright, and then for Germany, they only have a sphere of influence, so we're going to color them pretty light. For me, they're going to be this pretty blue. And they are just located right here. And they're going to have train tracks inside their blue. So if you just want to put some blue. Alright. Let's do ours. That's it for the big map. Let's do the little one real quick. Alright. Sea of Japan. Port Arthur. Beijing. Tian, T-I-A-N-A-N. Yellow Sea. Nanjing, N-A-N-J-I-N-G. Shanghai. Fuzhou, F-U-Z-H-O-U. Taiwan. Hong Kong. Hello, Taiwan. You need 5 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boxer Rebellion. Which is in 1898 to 1901. Then you have Taping Control, which is 1853 to 57. And you have Taping Control, 1857 to 68. Then you have your non-rebellion, 1853 to 68. And then you have your Muslim revolts. Alright, so your Boxer Rebellion is a rebellion of Chinese people against the white people who have showed up in China and are taking advantage of their government, which I think we can all agree makes a lot of sense. They're pissed off, and they go around killing white people. How do you think that makes all the white people feel there? Pretty terrible. So is it going to be a good thing or a bad thing for the Chinese? It's going to be a terrible thing. They're going to come back. Because do you think they want to be pushed around by a bunch of Chinese? Hello? No. So they're going to come back and they're just going to go on a murdering spree. It's pretty significant. So you're taping for me. Is right here. This is where Europeans just take over power. Then we have another bout of it. For me is going to be colored purple. Yep. And then we have your non-rebellion, which is going to be this. And they're going to be fighting with the Europeans as well. And then you have your Muslim revolts, which are just going to be stars for me. And they are happening over here. Keep in mind, there's a lot of Muslims, even to this day. Not a ton of Muslims, but a lot of them in China. Why are Muslims in China? Hello? The Silk Road, maybe? Yes, remember that? Still happening here. Alright, you're done. All you gotta do is color. What'd you think?
Yeah, that was horrible.
Okay. All you gotta do is color. Yes. Yeah, it has not been a fun day. This was not fun. And I'm going to do it 3 more times. Shoot me in the face. All right, Cynthia. What's wrong? Can I help you with anything? Can I help you with something?
No.